What's up, guys, and welcome to my Blitz Top 10 Zombies and Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 tier list. You guys really seem to enjoy the Plants Top 10 list, so I am bringing to you today my top 10 zombies that I think are the best in the game and the ones that I think that you guys should be using when you play the game, when you play as a zombie. So without further ado, let's get into the honorable mentions. On to the honorable mentions. Our first honorable mention is, yes, the Hovergoat 3000. This might come as a surprise to some people, but honestly, I think this character is really good if you are obviously very good with him. It is a very good support character. His L1 ability is his support ability, is he will raise the damage of your teammates. So I show it off in this, but if you use that on your teammates, they do extra damage. So if you go up to Toxic Brainz or something like that and play with him, you guys are just going to be wrecking everybody, and you're going to get a bunch of assists and kills all at once. It's going to be great. And his gun is really good. His laser, his triangle is really good as well, and he gets a speed boost with his R1. Honestly, all around, the Hovergoat 3000 is really good. Just didn't quite make it into the top 10, but I use this Hovergoat a decent amount. It might be a little hard for some people to get now that they don't have the town hall events coming out as much, it seems like, but hopefully they will bring something out that allows everyone to get the Hovergoat and the Torchwood without having to pay for it. But anyways, on to the next honorable mention. It is, yes, Breakfast Brainz. Breakfast Brainz is, in my opinion, one of the best superheroes, which there isn't a lot of superheroes, but they're all pretty damn good. But Breakfast Brainz is just insanely good, because as his punch charges up, it just does more and more damage, and it just, because I mean it's going faster, so it just, also you can see the damage increases as you're going faster. So he's just really nuts. His damage is nuts. His gun, like when he shoots out of his hand and whatnot, with most Brainz, Super Brainz, they're not very good. But it's alright. When it speeds up, it does a little bit better, but it needs a better recharge on it. But it's still a really good character. Breakfast Brainz definitely deserves to be an honorable mention. Anyways, let's move on to the next honorable mention, which is the Camo Ranger. Yes, we had the Camo Cactus. We just had to have the Camo Ranger, because the Camo Ranger is honestly even better than the Camo Cactus. The Camo Ranger shoots quicker. You can actually use it up close, which I show off here in this video. It just shoots so quick, and you can snipe people from across the map with this character. It is just absolutely ridiculous. It just didn't quite edge out the other 10 characters that are ahead of it in the top 10. But the Camo Ranger is an awesome character if you want to just sit back in the back of the map and just snipe while your teammates go up and push. And you can just sit back, get a ton of damage, get a ton of assists, get a ton of snipe kills if you're good with hitting your snipes. So yeah, let's move on to the top 10. Starting out at number 10, yes, we actually do have a scientist. It is the Marine Biologist. The Marine Biologist is my absolute favorite scientist. I think it is the best scientist in the game. Its blaster does so much damage. It's pretty much like a normal scientist. The abilities don't really change or anything like that, but it just does so much damage. It's great for being a support character if you're down for being a support character. Everybody loves having a support character on their team. If you want to be that support character, I suggest using the Marine Biologist if you are on the zombie side, because it's probably going to be one of your best bets. So yes, Marine Biologist coming in at number 10. Let's move on to number 9, and number 9, yes, it is going to be Party Brainz. Party Brainz, another superhero, but yes, the superheroes are OP on the zombie side, so it does make sense that we're going to have multiple superheroes on here. But yes, Party Brainz is absolutely nuts. You can get Party Brainz by doing Infinity Time or by opening the Infinity Packs that are 200,000 per. I suggest doing Infinity Time because that's a lot easier. You also can just get it from playing the game that way, which is a lot easier, which you can do with the coins, but that's not as easy. Anyways, Party Brainz is nuts. Once you get his party time, it is amazing. I don't really remember what his music sounds like, but I don't think it's very good. It's not as good as like the Party Imps music or like the Party Roses music and stuff like that, but it's pretty good. It's alright, I guess. There you go. It's alright. It's kind of like sci-fi-ish music. It's alright. It's not the greatest music, but Honestly, I'm not going to complain about it because Party Brainz absolutely smacks when you have his party time. He is just absolutely smacking these weeds. He can smack the heroes around a ton too. He's just absolutely nuts. He just 3-shot that chomper. So, like, yeah. Party Brainz is nothing to mess with. Party Brainz definitely deserves to be here at number 9. Just couldn't edge out anywhere higher than number 9. But let's move on to number 8. We have the Tank Commander. Most people would probably put this higher, but for me, I only think it's at number 8. It does a ton of damage, and it honestly doesn't really take too much skill. You do have to have decent aim, like, alright, decent aim, but like you still can just push people and just shoot at the ground and still do a bunch of damage to them. So it doesn't have really like take too much skill unless you're sniping people with it. If you can snipe people with this character, you're using some skill because you're gonna have to lead those shots. It's gonna be a tough one for you to do that. So that will impress me. If you're just pushing people and just doing what I'm doing, which is what most people will do with the character, that's not really too impressive. But it does so much damage. As you can see, the shielded pumpkin head weed took only 2 shots, which takes a ton of shots with any of your other plant or zombie characters pretty much. So yeah, Tank Commander is a beast. A lot of people use this character online. You will see this and run into this and get frustrated by this character so many times. I can promise you that, because I have had that happen to me so many times I can't even explain. I don't even know how to word it. But anyways, Tank Commander, definitely deserving of number 8, but no higher. Let's move on to number 7. And yes, we have our first engineer. We have Roadie Z. Roadie Z is absolutely insane and just overpowered in my opinion. He doesn't take much skill to use because all you have to do is push into people and just put your gun in their mouth and you will kill them. It's not very hard. It really isn't. Pretty much what I'm doing right now, this is all you got to do to people. If you use your R1 ability with your jackhammer, you will be pretty much unstoppable. Nobody's going to be touching you. You just might as well just wipe the floor with them. But yeah, Roadie Z, very much so deserving of that number 7 spot. Now let's move on to number 6, which is one of my favorite characters. See you there. At number 6, like I said, we have one of my favorite characters to use. I have it mastered. It is the Shrimp. The Shrimp is not really overpowered at all. I don't really think it's overpowered. If you're using auto aim, it is pretty overpowered. But if you're not using auto aim, I don't really think it's too overpowered. But yeah, so the Shrimp, it just shoots really quickly. Its mech is really where you're gonna see it like shine, because the Shrimp's mech is just absolutely dominant. I don't even really know how to describe how much I love the Shrimp's mech. I used this as my first, I think this was the first imp that I got for a variant, so I used this obviously to the max, because I maxed this thing out ridiculously quick and I still use it. It's probably going to be one of the characters I use once I have my account at max, because it's just so much fun to use and I very much so enjoy using it. I think you guys would enjoy using it too. Here is the Shrimp Imp, the Shrimp Imp's mech, and the mech is just so dominant. I like, look at this thing's laser. This thing just absolutely wrecks through shit. Like, but yeah, so that is the Shrimp. Coming in at number 6, let's move on to number 5. Coming in at number 5, we have our first pirate. Yes, Captain Cannon. This is a character that people like to consider a no-skill character, just like the EP and characters like that. It's a character you can pretty much just sit there, shoot at the ground. It'll do damage to them, it'll do enough damage to kill them, and you don't really have to do much else other than that. You can shoot once, and you can explode it in the air, so you can time your shots, you can kill people. Also, it's like close range shot without aiming in, does a ton of damage too, as you can see. But yeah, there's not much else I can say about Captain Cannon. If you can get him, he is a very overpowered pirate that you can use. You can snipe with him. He's a little difficult to snipe with, but once you get him down, you'll be smacking entire lobbies, I promise you. But yeah, that's number 5, Captain Cannon. Wow, Captain Cannon coming in hot. Let's move on to number 4. At number 4, we have another one of my favorite characters and the character I just got, the Z7 Imp. The Z7 Imp is absolutely amazing. I love the Z7 Imp. It's pretty much compared to the Agent P, pretty much like that. Agent P is very well compared to this Z7 Imp because it's a single fire. You can pretty much do trigger finger and it is amazing. But yeah, I love the Z7 Imp. I've been using it a ton. I think I have it almost at advanced now after the stream, I think. But I'm not entirely sure. I might already have it at advanced. Not entirely sure, but I've been using it a ton. I love using it online. It's one of my favorite zombies to use online. And yeah, you guys will very much so enjoy the Z7 Imp, but it is only a special character and you'll have to buy the deluxe edition of the game. But yeah, Z7 Imp coming in hot at 4. Let's move on to the top 3. Moving on to the top 3, yes, we have a soldier, and it is one of my favorites. It is the Arctic Trooper. Not one of my favorites to go against, but it is one of my favorites to use because it is just absolutely amazing and it will smack entire lobbies just like a lot of the characters on this list will. That's why they're in the top 10 best zombies in Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 list for me anyways. But yeah, Arctic Trooper is just absolutely amazing. It is obviously the ice character, so if you hit a character, it will freeze them if you hit them enough anyways. Certain characters don't really have enough health for him to even freeze them, because if you hit them enough, they're just going to be dead, because this thing's shots are lasers, and you will just be able to pretty much snipe people with this thing from across the map. I absolutely love the Arctic Trooper. It is one of my favorite characters. I maxed this thing out so quickly. I don't even remember how quick I did it, but it was fast. Like I had no problems getting this thing to master. But yeah, that's Arctic Trooper coming in hot at number 3. So let's move on to number 2, which I have to explain to you guys. I do not have this character, but coming in hot at number 2, it is Toxic Brainz, which would be, I would have it, but I just had to put this in at number 2, even though I don't have it. So even though I don't have it, I really had to put it at number 2 because it just really deserves to be at number 2. Once I do have it, I will show you guys a little bit of gameplay of it. But yes, now let's move on to the number 1 spot, which I think most of you will probably know by now because you haven't seen it, just like Agent P. It is, yes, one of my, if not my favorite character on the zombie side, the Super Commando. It has my most time played on any zombie. It is just such a fun character to use. It does so much damage. It's literally a 3-shot and it has to reload, but you can have it reload like really quick. It's I don't really know what else to say about it because it's just ridiculous. Me and Morty use this character for 1v1 Agent P versus Super Commando because those two characters are just the most OP characters in the game, and if it's just the best ones to use against each other for a 1v1. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this top 10 tier list. I'm really enjoying making these tier lists for you guys. I have a bunch of ideas from Morty and from myself that I'm going to do. I am going to do top 10 worst plants and top 10 worst zombies in Garden Warfare 2, and once I get more experience in Garden Warfare 1 and Battle for Neighborville, I will be doing tier lists on those games as well, but for now we're going to do tier lists on Garden Warfare 2. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you hit that like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys all next time. Peace out.
Down!